What's up, Digidestined? So since we have all the cards revealed, I figured it would be great to break down BT-13 as a whole versus Royal Knights. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about all the fantastic cards that was released, shall we? So first off, we have Pinamon. So on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 2000 DP. Probably won't see any competitive play. The reason for this is that it's just not good enough of a card. It is just okay at best. And that's just how that's going to be. Then we have Chapmon. So opponent's turn, when you have another Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Probably not going to see play. A lot of the times draw is just better, and these don't draw, so that's a big problem. Then we have Kirumon. So your turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, one of your Digimon gains jamming for the turn. This is probably going to see play because of Kentorismon actually might like this a lot. The new playstyle where it takes, trying to manipulate where you're both at 6 or less kind of is a very interesting mechanic. And since we're going to be, when a card is removed from your security stack, since you're going to remove for free yourself, you're going to be activating this. Then you have Budmon here. So while your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Okay. Probably not going to see play. I mean, we have other things, but usually right now you want some way of gaining memory, extending our plays, everything like that for green. And I think Budmon's just not going to cut it. Then you have Doraemon. So when attacking, if you have 4 or more Digievolution cards, draw a card. This is probably going to be your 5th egg. I think having that final draw is going to really help out. So I think that. Kaporimon. So on deletion, by trashing 1 card from your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Probably could see a final egg in Ravemon, or not being seen play at all. Depends on the deck's future, and just being able to delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon isn't as extreme anymore. Then we have Yggdrasil himself. Breeding your turn, your Digimon can evolve, so this locks down stuff. This is going to be pretty much a full archetype, and it's really nasty at best. Breeding your turn. Once per turn, when you would play a Digimon card with Royal Knights in its race, you may reduce its play cost by 4. For each of this card's Digievolution cards, reduce the play cost by an additional 1. So, base 1. If you can get plenty more, this thing can get these things, your Mega Zoo-esque deck, to be dropping your 13s for basically 3 costs, which is going to be really nasty. And then, breeding, start a main phase, reveal the top card of your Digi-Egg deck, place that card and all your Royal Knights traits under this Digimon as a bottom Digievolution card. So the first one's going to be reduced, the rest won't. So it's going to rely heavily on certain cards to be able to play stuff for free. And then breeding your turn, once per turn, when you place a option with Royal Knights in its traits in your battle area, gain 1 memory. So this will guarantee that the Royal Knight options you use will be reduced by 3 if you get 3 Yggdrasils. And that's about it. Making it a 3 cost is really nice. Then we have the new Agumon that's going to be making your Marcuses very valuable, actually. So, main phase, once per turn, one of your Marcuses is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon for the turn that can't Digivolve. That's huge. Now, you have 2 ways of getting any of your Marcuses to be able to swing, and then you have the regular Marcus that's just going to become a Digimon. Just punch your opponent in the face. But, your turn, when your red or yellow tamer becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Minusing DP is very functional in this deck, so that's going to help out. Then you have Huckmon. Your turn, when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, you may Digivolve this Digimon into Bio-Huckmon from your hand without paying its Digievolution cost. Free Digievolution is huge, so I think that's going to play a big role. And then when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, gain 1 memory. I think that's going to really matter. I mean, this is a new Huckmon line. It's going to really ramp up the deck's value, and I think that's just how it's going to be. And I think we're going to see how this is going to play out. Then you have Biomon here. For that Biomon, Ho-Ho-Mon, basically deck that really needed another round of support, and now it's kind of getting it. On play, if played by an effect, you may return 1 Chrissy Daemon to its owner's hand. This Digimon may Digivolve into Garudamon in your hand, ignoring its Digievolution requirements without paying its cost. So basically, you get to warp up into your ultimate, which is not bad. And then on deletion, draw a card. This helps skip climb, which is very useful actually. In Quiliamon, So on play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. On deletion, draw a card. So that's just value town on the deletion effects, especially when you want to use your effects with the top end. And boom, you get some draw value. Geo Greymon. Holy cow, is this card nutty. When Digivolving, search your security stack and reveal one red and or yellow tamer and play it without paying its memory cost. If you played a card, recovery 1, then shuffle your security stack. That's huge. And it's not once per turn, by the way. I mean, if you keep bringing out this and you're not locked, if you don't have any tamers on play like the other Greymons, that's ridiculous. This is just basically saying, pull a Marcus out, slam it down, recovery 1. That's ridiculous. Your turn. One of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended. You may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Crazy there. Then we have Bao Huckmon. So your turn, when you would play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, you may Digivolve this Digimon into Savior Huckmon from your hand for its Digievolution cost. When this Digimon would Digivolve with this effect, reduce the Digievolution cost by 2. Means basically your Saviors are 1 cost. Do not expect that ban restriction list to relieve that Savior Huckmon anytime soon. Bao Huckmon, when you would play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, gain 1 memory. Then you have Garudamon. So on play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 red tamer card with a play cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. And then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. Cute for that vaccine deck. Then you have Rise Greymon. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Marcus from your hand without paying its play cost. Now, ultimates are just slamming down free tamers. Then all turns, when your red or yellow tamer is deleted, place Marcus from your trash face down at the top of your security stack. So it's once per turn, as long as your Marcuses keep swinging. As long as one goes bye-bye, instantly now you have free recovery on top of it. All turns, when your red or yellow tamer is deleted, place 1 Marcus from your trash face down at the top of your security stack. This one basically doesn't matter. We're just really enjoying that we get free value out of it. Savior Huckmon here. Well, when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, if you may Digivolve this Digimon into Chessmon from your hand from its Digievolution cost. When this Digimon would Digivolve, reduce the Digievolution cost by 2. So now you have another full climb line. And then when attacking, if this Digimon has Royal Knights in its traits, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. So that's just sweet value town. Savior is nasty. Then we do have Chessmon here. This is one of the first of Yggdrasil's arsenals. So on play, when Digivolving, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total's DP adds up to 6000 DP or less. Delete them. For every other Digimon you have in play, add 2000 DP to the maximum DP you can choose. So this can just clean up house afterwards. I think Chessmon's really nasty. And then all turns, all your Digimon get plus 1000 DP for each other Sistermon in its name or Royal Knights in trait. So blanket effect, make them big and beefy, is just how the name in the game goes. He's going to see more play in Yiggy's decks, but outside of that, you might tech him off as a one-of in your Chessmon deck. Then you have Shine Greymon here. This is starter main phase. When Digivolving, one of your Marcuses is also treated as a 3000 DP that can't Digivolve and it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So that makes it very powerful because now you have Marcus for a full rotation. And then all turns, once per turn, when your red or yellow tamer becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6000 DP. So Shine Greymon's pretty good, even just for a rare. That's pretty amazing. Then you have Genkumon. So blocker on play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your trash, or 1 Digimon card with Royal Knights in its trace from the Digievolution cards of your Digimon in your breeding area without paying its play cost. You cannot play Omnimon or Genkumon with this effect. Means restricting it so that it can't just keep spamming out, because if it could just grab Genkumon, it would be ridiculous, and Omnimon is just ridiculous in itself, right? They made sure that you just can't just go ladder, move, go. Just spam out everybody. And then we do have Shine Greymon Burst Mode. So burst Digievolution 0 for Shine Greymon by returning 1 Marcus in play to its owner's hand. At the end of turn, trash the top card of this Digievolution card. So basically burst energy, quick power up, and then goes away. But when Digivolving, you may play 1 Marcus from your hand without paying its memory cost. The tamer played by this effect is also treated as a 12,000 DP Digimon that cannot Digivolve, gains rush until the end of the turn. And then yellow, once per turn, when one of your red and or yellow tamer becomes suspended, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Holy cow, free removal value just by Marcus swinging Means it produces lethal just by a bunch of Marcuses. That can get scary. Then we have Gaomon. So we're done with red for now. Gaomon is when attacking once per turn, both players draw the top card of the deck. While your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Oh, that's cute. Then you have Kenmon. So blocker. Okay. This is not going to see play. Then you have Jellymon with Evade. Really awesome. Now we get a rookie with Evade that can just stay on the board a little bit longer. When attacking, trash the bottom Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon. They're trying to really make Jellymon do something. And I like it. It's cute, but we'll have to see if that continues the trend. Then you have Gapaomon, blocker. Just blocker. Who put these in here, by the way? Whoever said just give them blocker for a deck that doesn't... Blockers aren't useful. Unless we can spit the blockers out like mid-combat, where after all the when attacking effects finished, and we still have our Digimon, and then we can spit it out. So we have the timing window to create a block. There's no way of that card seeing play. Then you have Gaogumon. So when Digivolving, if you don't have a Thomas in play, you may play one from your hand without paying its cost. So 3 Thomases all around. Let's go. All turns while your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Okay. Power to you. The 8 cards in hand gets relatively important soon. Tells Jellymon when attacking, draw a card, and then when attacking, trash the bottom Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon. That's going to be interesting. Then we have Shinjimon. So blocker, opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon with Digievolution cards from this Digievolution cards without paying its memory cost. So this is where you're going to get your free blocker. If this thing survives, because most of the time people can kill off a level 5 by just breathing on it. Desismon. So hand, main, if you have a Koshiro in play by placing 1 Tels Jellymon from your hand under one of your Jellymon as a bottom Digievolution card, Digivolve that Digimon into this Digimon for a memory cost 3, ignoring its Digievolution requirements. Finally, being able to warp in Jelly actually speeds up the deck a little bit more, because after testing, I just felt like I needed to be able to warp in and not be able to pay 5 memory to get up there from a Jelly. That's just me. End of turn, once per turn, by returning 3 cards with Jellymon in their card text from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Unsuspend this Digimon. Free value, end of attack. So that's going to help out. We get, at least now we have 2 Desismons that will basically restand our guy, and that gets us some more board control. Then you have Mecha Gaogomon. So when attacking, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, the target of this attack cannot be switched for the turn. Basically means blocker negates the blocker a little bit. That's fine. That's cool. And then all turns, when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Cool. We're going to get some unsuspend value there. And then we do have all 4 Digimon on play. When Digivolving, trash the top 2 Digievolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits and each of your Blue Tamers in play. This at least works with all 4s very nicely. The problem is I don't see this card seeing play in all 4s, and it will be played in the Yugi deck just because that's how that's going to go. Your turn, once per turn. When you play a Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits or a Blue Tamer, return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolution cards to its owner's hand. Cool. I mean, bounce effects are cute. We'll just see if that's actually worth it. Then you have Mirage Gauga, Evade. Okay. That Evade will help out. Keep it on the board longer. When Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Tamers to its owner's hand. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's mandatory, by the way. You cannot just say, no, I don't want to bounce your Tamer. Get that Tamer out of here. But all turns, when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand, you may play 1 Thomas from your hand without paying its memory cost once per turn. So, that's not terrible. I mean, Thomas is free Tamers, right? Jumbo Gamamon. Jumbo Gamemon. Blocker, opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card from this Digievolution without paying its memory cost. It's okay. I'm not too excited on it. Then we have Mirage Gaugamon Burst Mode. So, what does this do? Bursts for 0 with Mirage Gauga by returning 1 Thomas in play. It's going to always be return that exact Tamer back to hand, and then basically it's a Digi cost for 3, and then you just got to trash the top card afterwards. So that's not terrible. But when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Then, for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand, gain 1 memory. This extends your play because that free burst can lead to being strong combo plays. And then when attacking, if your opponent has 9 or more cards in their hand, by placing cards from your opponent's hand at the bottom of the owner's deck without looking at it until the end, there are 8 cards left. Unsuspend this Digimon. So this is not once per turn. As long as they have ways of keep drawing cards, you get some free value out of it. So, I mean, constantly Russian rouletting. But the problem is, you're Russian rouletting, and now your opponent is gaining too much value because they are gaining cards to their hand. And we're giving them free cards. And unless we are winning, we are losing that speed race after that point. Kodamon, yellow. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with vaccine in straight and 1 yellow tamer among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. If there is a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Coolio. Then we have Pawn Chessmon. It gives reboot on deletion. If it is your turn, you may play 1 level 3 or lower Digimon card with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its play cost. If you have 8 or more cards with Chessmon in their name in your trash, add 2 to the maximum level you can play by this effect. So we're gonna just play free chess. I love the Chessmon line. It's just really cute. It's very interesting, and I like that they're added both the light and the dark to both sides. So it's gonna be very interesting how they go. Lilomon. I'm gonna botch it, but your turn when a card is removed from the security stack, gain 1 memory. If the total number of both players' security stack is 6 or less, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP. So applying pressure that way. Lymon. So when attacking by trashing the top card of your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP for the turn. And then if the total number of both players' security is 6 or less, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP. So this is going to be a consistent just punishment factor for your opponent to deal with, because as long as you can get to that magic range between the both of you, boom, they are losing DP for nothing. And then Repamon. So when Digimon, by trashing the top card of your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus security attack 2 until the end of turn. Sadly, it's not a blanket effect. I would have liked that. If there is a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, one of your opponents get minus 2000 DP. So it seems like this line always will have this. Then we have Knight Chessmon reboot. On deletion, if it is your turn, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its play cost. So basically keeping your pieces on the board as long as they keep removing it. The only way you lose out on any value is if they spin it. So that's just how that's going to go. Then we have Magnamon Royal Knight. It's a level 4 blocker. You know, Digivolve on top of Vmon. All turns when this Digimon would leave play, draw a card. Then you may play 1 Vmon from your hand or this Digi-Evolution cards without paying its play cost. Basically another version of Armor Purge that isn't terrible, but at the same time is terrible. I mean, it'll see some sort of play. Yes, it'll see play in the Yigi deck, but that's about it. Then let's get into it. Chirinmon. So barrier. So this is a new text. When this Digimon would be deleted in battle, by trashing the top card of your deck, prevent that deletion. So basically, if they're trading off, battle is not going to be the way you kill this. I like barrier. It's very interesting. You give them the free damage, but you're not losing out on your Digimon. Not bad. On deletion, you may play 1 Kodamon from your hand or trash suspended without paying its memory cost. So free value there. Bishop Chessmon. On deletion, if it is your turn, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. And it gives reboot. The whole line gives reboot, which is not bad in the yellow category, but then you have the other half that gives the other keyword. Loadermon. So barrier and barrier across the board. Loader Leomon. Not bad. I think that's pretty awesome. Then we have Bancho Leomon. Blocker. When Digivolving, by trashing the top card of your deck, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. All turns, when this card is removed from your security stack. When a card is removed from your security stack, you may play 1 yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Free Tamer value. Not bad. Yellow Hybrid might like this a little bit. Especially its all turns. Possibilities. King Chessmon is the next card. When you would play this card from your hand, if you have 8 or more Digimon with Chessmon in its name in your trash, reduce the play cost by 8, becoming a whopping, guess what, boys and girls, 8 would be a 5 cost. On play, when Digimon By deleting one of your other Digimon, you may play one Digimon with Chessmon in its name, other than Knight Chessmon, from your hand without paying its play cost. Interesting. Then you have Kentorsmon. On play, when Digivolving, if the total number of both players' security stack is 6 or less, gain 3 memory and reveal one of your cards in your hand. If that is a yellow card, place it at the top of your security stack face down. If not, return it to hand. When attacking once per turn, by trashing one card from the top of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn. So, Kentorsmon actually has some competitive viability here. I like it. It's very strong. It's a new revamp on what it used to be able to do, and I think that's just really good. Then you have Angoramon. So it's blocker. Blocker in this game doesn't matter. All turns, if you have no... if your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. I don't think it'll see play, but it's another card. Then you have Salamon here. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one Digimon card with Beast, Animal, Sovereign, other than Sea Animal in one of its traits, and one card with Royal Knights among them to your hand. Place the rating cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. While this Digimon has Animal, Beast, Sovereign, other than Sea Animal in one of its traits, or Royal Knights, it gets plus 2,000 DP. Salamon's pretty good, actually, especially for its deck and home that it wants to be in, so it's not bad. Then you have Lalamon. So on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one Digimon card with Veggie or Plant or Fairy in one of its traits, and then one Yoshino among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. When this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer in play, reduce the Digievolution cost by 1. Cool. So this inheritable, we want the inheritable. We don't want the search effect, but it's basically a different way of playing Palmon. You have this Palmon and Lila. This is guaranteeing to play both in deck. So very interesting to see how that'll play out. Then you have Sunflowmon. Main phase, by spending this Digimon, you may Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a fairy in one of its traits from your hand by paying its Digievolution cost. When you would Digivolve by this effect, reduce the Digievolution cost by 2. And then its inheritable is when a Digimon would Digivolve if you have a green tamer in play, reduce the Digievolution cost by 1. So this basically helps Bloom Lord out. You got some nice free value in BT-13 Bloom Lord. Then you have Micmon. So on play, when one of your Digimon gains piercing for the turn, but also your turn while this Digimon has Animal, Beast, or Sovereign, and other than Sea Animal in one of its traits, or Royal Knights in a trait, get plus 2,000 DP. So that's really just Leopardmon support. Sambara Angoramon, jamming, and that's pretty decent actually. The jamming really does help out. But all turns, if your Digimon has no your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. There you go, boys and girls. More DP boosts for your bunny ninja swing attacks. Then you have Maramon. So on play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP or less. Then one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of opponent's next turn. And lockdown is really good. But when this Digimon would Digivolve, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Free value out of that from a level 5. Well, 6 on top of a 6. Not bad. Then we have Lilamon herself. When Digivolving, you may play one Yoshino from your hand without paying its play cost. But all turns, while this Digimon your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets security plus 1. So free value for damage, right? Then Lamortmon, hand. This is similar to basically Thesismon. Basically, you just need the champion, go underneath your rookie, then you can warp in as long as you have the tamer out for the 3 cost, which is a really good stepping stone. While this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Woohoo! That works. Then you have Leopardmon here. When Digivolving main, once per turn, you may play one Digimon card with Royal Knights in its traits, or one green Digimon card from your hand, paying the cost. When you would play this card with this effect, reduce the play cost by 4. When you play another Digimon, all your Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits, and all your green Digimon gain blocker until the end of opponent's turn. Cool. So basically free value, and Royal Knights love this card. It's going to be really good for Yankee decks, but also it's good in its own deck. Then we have Rosemon here. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer. Unsuspend this Digimon, and then all turns, when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer. Then you have Leopardmon Leopard Mode. So this is the first form change for Leopardmon's line. Sadly, it doesn't work for the blue one. The blue one's trash now, apparently, because the green one is better. But now we have 2 green-themed Royal Knights. So, Digivolve one for Leopardmon. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of your opponent's turn. When attacking, by suspending one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. End of turn, trash the top card of this Digimon and unsuspend all your Digimon. Cool. So if you can build up a blocker board, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Then we have Xmon here. DNA Digivolve for 0, a level 6 blue, and a level 6 green. On play, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Lockdown is really nice. It's another Xmon, so now you have a little more ways of playing at least 6 Xmons in your deck, which you kind of need. But all turns would turn when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended. You may deactivate one of the effects below. Suspend one of your opponent's other Digimon, or unsuspend one of your Digimon. Basically, that evade and fun blocking shenanigans, Xmon does get some nice value out of it, don't you think? But now we have Rosemon Burst Mode. Basically, you need Rosemon and Yoshino to basically do this burst. And then when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. All your opponent's Digimon and Tamers do not unsuspend until the end of their turn. When attacking, for every 2 suspended Digimon and or Tamers your opponent has in play, trash the top card of their opponent's security stack. So, mini, guess what? This is a mini Quartzmon. But, to be honest with you, Quartzmon is probably still slightly better, but Rosemon Burst Mode is really nasty when it's just her own theme deck. So just keep that in mind. It won't probably see much play in Bloomy Boy, but it will probably see a lot of play when you build a Rosemon deck, so keep that when you're trying to build. Then we have Gusselmon, blocker. On deletion, if it is your opponent's turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 black Digimon card among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. Congratulations, Gusselmon got something. Now we have Poop Deck support. Ooh, asked for this in their BT-13 bingo card because I'll shake your hand on this. Chumon on play by trashing 1 card with Sukamon or Edamon in its name from your hand. Return one of your Sukamon in its name from your trash to your hand. Chumon, if this Digimon has Sukamon or Edamon in its name, you may play 1 Chumon suspended from your trash without paying its play cost. So, cool. You get free Chumons out of the deal, and it's inheritable, but we now have 3 Chumons for the deck, and that's just going to really make the deck difference. Doromon, basically all turns, while this Digimon has X antibody traits, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Nice. Then we have Pawn Chessmon, blocker on deletion. This is the black version. It is your opponent's turn. You may play 1 level 3 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. If there's 8 or more, you know the drill. Add 2 to the maximum level that you can play with its effect. Nice. Then we do have Platinum Sukamon. Means we're going to get more and more support of the Platinums. Ah! So, on deletion, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's Digimon. Stop trashing when you would trash a level 3 or the Digimon last card. Interesting. Okay. All turns, when this Digimon would be deleted by deleting one of your other Digimon with Sukamon in its name, prevent the deletion. So, turning your opponent's Digimon into poop is really useful. And then Dorugamon. So all turns, while this Digimon has X antibody trait, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Then you have Gladimon, jamming, reboot. Nice. Then you have Night Chessmon, blocker. On deletion, if it is your opponent's turn, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. Cool. That's not bad at all. Then you have King Sukamon. So when attacking, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Sukamon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. When this Digimon would be deleted, delete one of your other Digimon with Sukamon in its name, preventing the deletion. So, not bad. Sadly, it doesn't give another way of turning something into poop. And that's really what the deck needs, another way to turn something into poop. And then, Rook Chessmon. So, on deletion, if it is your opponent's turn, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. It's just a blocker. Then you do have Jiromon. It's a mine blocker. Opponent's turn, when one of your Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top card of opponent's security stack. So, pretty much free removal is not bad in the name of the game. Then you have Doro Gray. So, this is finally making Alphamon relevant again. So, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 card with X antibody traits among them under this Digimon as a bottom Digievolution. If a card is placed this way, this Digimon's DP cannot be reduced until the end of opponent's next turn. Trash the rest. Free trashing value, not bad. But the fact of the matter is, basically the DP protection is back. It just doesn't have a deletion protection. But end of turn, when you may place one Digimon card with X antibodies traits from your hand under this as a bottom Digi-Evolution card. Coolio. Free value, right? And then we have Queen Chess Mom. Queen is amazing. Blocker. All turns when your Digimon with Chessmon in its name is deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. Free value. I mean, since she's going to be blocking and have reboot, as long as your other guys are dying, she's going to keep being able to sustain the board and block. Then we have Prince Mamamon. So this is just a slight reference to, guess what, boys and girls, is that Prince thinks he is the leader of all. He is a prince of all the fantastic royal knights. This is why the joke is there. He's not. That's just, it's a fun little lore tip, and I like it. On play, when Digimon reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, you may play one Digimon with Mamamon in its name with a play cost 10 or less among them without paying its play cost. Trash the rest. But all turns, all your Digimon with Mamamon in its name or Royal Knights game jamming and reboot. So you could definitely play this in, Yuki's deck, but probably not. Alphamon. On play, when Digimon place one card with X antibody or Royal Knights in its traits under this Digimon as a bottom Digi-Evolution card until the end of your opponent's turn. Your opponent's Digimon with play cost 10 or more cannot attack a player. That protection is really nice, but all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by an effect by placing one card with X antibody or Royal Knights in its traits from this Digi-Evolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck, prevent it from leaving play. So what does this mean, boys and girls? That means basically Alphamon is one of the few Digimon that can ignore Yugi's, basically go back to the bottom, go back underneath me rules. And that's just lore wise. Alphamon rejects Yggdrasil a lot of the time. There's not many times that he follows Yugi for long. He usually rejects his orders eventually. Then we have King Edamon in the Gallantmon pose, by the way. Who does it better? Let me know down in the comments. All turns, once per turn, when another Digimon with Edamon or Sukamon in its name is deleted, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP and security attack -1 until the end of opponent's turn. Opponent's turn, all your Digimon with Edamon or Sukamon in its name gain blocker and cannot be returned to hand or deck. That protection is really useful, actually. Then we have Craniumon blocker on play. When Digivolving, this Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn. So basically, they can't delete it by opponent card effects. Really nice. But end of turn, end of your opponent's turn, you may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. That chosen Digimon attacks. So as long as you're big and beefy, you force your opponent to swing in and you get to choose. That's huge. But they have to be valid targets. If they're already suspended, they cannot attack unless they have some way of saying I can attack when suspended. So something to look at there. Then you have Fuskomon. So on deletion, draw a card, trash one card from your hand. Draw is always good in purple. And opponent's turn, draw a card, then trash one card from your hand. Then you have Falcomon. On play, one of your purple Digimon gains retaliation until the end of opponent's turn. But on deletion, and if this Digimon was deleted other than by battle, your opponent trashes one card from their hand. Free trash removal is really good. Being able to trash your opponent's hand is actually quite nasty in this game, because after a while, reducing stuff down, they might not be able to recover too much. Then you have Photoguzumon. So when you would play this card by deleting one level 2 Digimon in your breeding area, reduce the play cost by 2. On play, draw a card, then trash one card from your hand. All turns, this Digimon cannot Digivolve. On deletion, by placing 2 cards with Gazumon in their name from trash at the bottom of your deck in any order, you may play one of its next evolutions from your trash without paying its memory cost. They all will have this effect, so I'm going to skip this on deletion effect. And that's just how that's going to go. Then you have Porcupmon. So this is on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Not bad. When of opponent's turn, draw a card, then trash one card of your hand. So basically filter is really nice. Then you have Peckmon, blocker on deletion. Basically the same thing as all the bird line for the avians and everything like that for, Ravemon. So this is just here for that on deletion, being able to trash one card of your opponent's as long as it was deleted by not battle. Then you have Gazumon AT. When you would play this card, delete one of your level 3 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4. On play, draw 2, then trash 2 cards from your hand. All turns, Digimon can't Digivolve. So that on play is really nice. And then it'll just go to XT afterwards. Then you have Astramon. So on play, when Digivolving, by deleting one of your other purple Digimon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Belphiamon in its name from your hand without paying its Digi-evolution cost. When a card is trashed from your hand, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon trash without paying its cost. So it counters a little bit of the Falcomon deck, but it's really interesting. Both times this card has shown up in its recent iteration, it Digivolves into the villain of the game. Well, a villain of the series. When attacking, if we have Chromon here, if you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon may Digivolve into RideMon from trash by paying its Digi-evolution cost. And then on deletion, if it was deleted outside of battle, you may play one level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your hand, from your trash without paying its play cost. Then XT, it's just a blocker, and then gets to play the Tamer without paying its memory cost. You know, Dynastimon, trash card, by the way, but on play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 2 cards with Lucimon in its name, or Royal Knights in its traits among them to your trash the rest. When you would play another Digimon with Lucimon in its name, or Royal Knights in its trait, delete all your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Then you have Balphamon Sleep Mode. So Digivolves for 1 cost on top of a Digivolve from a Rage mode, so you can just go into this. Not bad. But what's really nasty is, on play, when Digivolving, place 1 Rage mode from your trash at the top of this Digi-evolution cards. This Digimon cannot attack and isn't affected by your opponent's effects until the end of opponent's turn. Really gives a nice protection, but end opponent's turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks by trashing 2 cards from your hand and that attack. So basically free preventative value. I like it. Then you have Raymon here. End of turn, by deleting this Digimon that has a Digi-evolution card with Bird Avian in one of its traits. At the end of opponent's turn, you may play 1 Raymon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Basically gets around if your opponent's going to delete your stuff anyway. Get Raymon out of here. Get it ready for another wave of attacks. But on deletion, you may play 1 Falcomon or Keenan from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. So that's not bad. I mean, gets you another free Falcomon too when it self-deletes. Then you have Lord Nightmon, another trash card. On play, when Digivolve, you may return 1 card with Lucimon in its name or Royal Knights in its traits trash from your hand. This is just basically seeing both of these will be played in Yugi. I don't understand why they went purple, but sure, they didn't even make it function with its original support. Opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks for each of your Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits, gain 1 memory. Not bad. Gave them a way of having, guess what? A good way of having a Hydramon for Yugi's deck. Not bad. Balphamon Rage Mode. Start a turn. Delete all your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. If you have 6 or less cards in hand, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP and security plus 1 for the turn. End of attack, by deleting one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. End of opponent's turn, if this Digimon is Balphamon Sleep Mode, trash the top card. So basically, no matter what happens afterwards, you're instantly going to go back into Rage Mode on your opponent's end phase, ready to apply pressure and control board state. Then you have Raymon Burst Mode. So basically, Keenan and then Raymon. So basically, that's how that's going to go. When Digivolving, look at the top of your opponent's hand. Look at your opponent's hand and trash 1 card in it. Then if your opponent has 7 or fewer cards in their hand, they add the top card of the security stack to their hand. Not bad. Basically free damage. But when attacking, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the same name as that card returned by this effect. So basically, we get a mini Omnimon kind of way of dealing with your opponent. So this, if there's ever Diaboromon back, oh, be afraid. Be afraid. I'm telling you that right now. Diaboromon loses to this burst mode instantly. And then you have Okuamon. So on play, Omekamon. So this card is basically a Royal Knight, technically, because it is an X-Antibody Digivolved from basically Agumon in lore-wise X-Antibody. But this card just doesn't know what he is or anything, so he dresses up as Omnimon and wants to be Omnimon. So on play, draw a card. On deletion, place 1 card with Royal Knights in its traits from your hand under one of your Yggdrasils in your breeding area as a bottom Digi-evolution card. So we get some nice draw, and it's not bad. Then we have Chrissy Damon. So start a main phase. If you have a Digimon with Bird in one of his traits, gain 1 memory. On play, one of your Digimon gains on deletion. You may play 1 Beomon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost until the end of the turn. So not bad. I think that's really decent there. Marcus, start a main phase. If your memory is 2 or less, set it to 3. On play, you may suspend this Tamer all turns. When this Tamer becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. Then if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name, gain 1 memory. Marcus is a 5 cost this time around, but not bad. Homer, boy, this helps your Aegistramon decks out. So on play, you may play 1 level 3 blue Digimon card from one of your blue Digimon Digievolution cards without paying its cost. All turns, when you play a blue Digimon card by suspending this tamer, you may place 1 level 4 or lower blue Digimon card from your hand under this Digievolution as bottom Digievolution source. Cool. Homer's decent for the spamming out from sources decks. They have Thomas here. Start main phase, set you to 3. It's a memory setter. But your turn, when your Digimon with Galmon or Galgamon in its name attacks by suspending this tamer, both players draw the top card of the deck. So this helps fuel Mirage, burst mode's a way of being able to trash once you reach 8 and constantly just keep restanding, go. So that's just how that goes. Then you have Richard. So when this card is trashed from your security stack, by an effect, you may play 1 card without paying its memory cost. So you may play this card without paying its memory cost. So no matter what, if you are forced to trash it, boom, Richard comes in. And then basically you get a free tamer out of this. Start a main phase. If you have a total 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, gain 1 memory. Not a bad turnaround. We're yellow hybrid kind of esque themes. If there is a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, by suspending this tamer, one of your Kodaemon may digivolve into Katorsmon in your hand, ignoring level requirements by paying its memory cost. Warp Digievolution, right? Then you have Spencer Damon. So all turns, when your yellow Digimon becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. End of your turn, once per turn, if there is a total 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, treat this tamer as a 3000 DP Digimon that can't be digivolved and gains blocker until the end of opponent's turn. So he's never going to swing at your opponent, but he's just a blocker. Then we have Yoshino. So start a main phase, Mem Setter. And then when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with Veggie, Plant, Fairy in one of its traits, suspend this tamer and gain 1 memory. That's not bad, or even Bloom, but, Rosemon will take advantage of this, but you can also play this in Bloom Lord. Then we have Mickey and Megami. So, on play, you may play 1 Digimon card with Pawn Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. All turns, when your black or yellow 2-color Digimon is played, by suspending this tamer, draw a card, gain 1 memory. This can see play in, guess what? The poop deck. So keep that in mind. I mean, the first effect is fine, but the all turns effect is nasty for any yellow, black, 2-color deck in the future. Keenan here. On play, you may play your opponent may trash 1 tamer card or 1 option card from the hand. If they don't trash a card, gain 1 memory, draw a card. So this becomes a 2 cost if they don't do XYZ. So opponent's turn, when a Digimon is played by an effect, you may suspend this tamer, gain 1 memory. Not bad. I think that's decent. Akihiro. So when you would play a Digimon card with Balphamon in its name, by deleting one of your Digimon with Gaizumon in its name, reduce the play cost by the play cost of deleted Digimon. So that means we go back up. You can make this a 3 cost. 3 costs? 2 costs? 3 cost here, and then, 2 cost here, and this is a 5 cost. Okay. And then, an opponent's turn, draw a card, then trash 1 card from your hand. Then by placing this tamer under one of your Digimon with Balphamon in its name, as a Digievolution card, delete one of your opponent's level 6 Digimon. So this helps clean up house, not bad. And then we do have some options to look at. You have Final Sunrise Bust. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So a Wyvern's Breath that lasts till your opponent's end phase. Really ridiculous. Then you may play 1 Marcus card from your hand without paying its cost. Cool. And then you do have Full Moon Meteor Impact. So another Cocytus Breath, by the way. But return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Then for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand, gain 1 memory. This card gets cheaper and cheaper. So I feel like this is going to see competitive play. And then return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. And then we did get some other colors for options. Let's take a look. So we did get the yellow and green one. So Vulcan Crusher. So choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with DP less than or equal to less than the chosen DP Digimon to its owner's hand. Then return one of the top of your Leo Leopardmon Leopard mode to your hand. And suspend all your Digimon. And then suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then add this card to your hand. So for 4 costs, you get to cycle through your whole Leopard line again. Not a bad Terrible trade-off. Icy Breath. When this card is trashed by an effect, activate its main effect. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. Then if there is a total of 6 or less cards in both players' security stack, all your opponent's Digimon gets security -1 until the end of opponent's turn. So we get another fancy way of boldly flaming your opponent. Not a bad trade-off. I think this is pretty solid. And then let's get back into it. Then we have Waltz End. So one of your opponent's Digimon gains opponent's turn. When this Digimon becomes suspended, delete all your opponent's Digimon with play cost less than or equal to this Digimon and opponent's turn. This Digimon isn't affected by effects of your opponent's option cards until the end of opponent's turn. So shutting down opponent's option cards is really nasty, and Black's new way of keeping stuff on the board. And then security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. And then Gift of Darkness. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 6 or higher Digimon. Then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into sleep mode from trash without paying its Digivolve cost. By trashing one of your opponent's Digimon from your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a level less than or equal to the trash card effect. So not a bad trade-off. I think Gift of Darkness is actually pretty solid. Purge of the Royal Knights. So main effects, draw. You may place one card from your hand under one of your Yigis in your breeding area as a bottom Digievolution card. Then this card gets placed in the battle area delay. But play one card with Royal Knights in its trace from this Digievolution cards from the Digievolution under the Digimon in your breeding area without paying its cost. Any on deletion effects of that Digimon played by this effect do not activate, and it gains Rush for the turn. Holy cow. That's really interesting. And being able to have Rush really does apply pressure that way. Now we're getting into the secrets. But first off, let's get into the new secret. Dukemon, aka Gallantmon. When this card is about to be played from your hand, if you have no Digimon in play, for every total of 5 cards in both players' trash, the play cost is reduced by 2. So if you guys both have 20, this is just free value. So that's something to really look at. I think that's going to be really interesting. So that's going to be very powerful. Rush, and it plays well in its own deck. You don't need to play this in Yigi's deck. You can just play this in your own Gallantmon deck. This is a comeback card that you've been waiting for. When played, when Digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted via this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP 13 or higher. What's really nasty about this is not once per turn. So if you have ways of restanding this and doing some crazy shenanigans, this card gets ridiculous. I love that as a 5 cost, but man, oh man, this is a very powerful card. Then you have Omnimon itself. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or play one of each Royal Knight card, Digimon card with a different name and with Royal Knights and traits from your Digievolution cards under the Digimon in your breeding area without paying its play cost. If you played a Digimon by this effect, trash one Digimon in your breeding area, and all your Digimon gain Rush for the turn. So basically, Omnimon says, I've had enough with you, Yigi. You've built up what I needed. We're doing the Avengers Assemble rule, and then Yigi, get out of here. We don't need you anymore, and now we don't lose our board. Just remember, if you still have a Yigi and you hatch after your opponent magically survives 13 attacks, know this, and when you flip that Yigi, it's going to eat everybody. So don't do that, because it's start of main. So that's a problem. That's a problem. So guys, what did you think of BT-13's reveal so far? Everything living up to the hype that you wanted? So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.